Hello and welcome to another fipgauges.com demo, and today we are looking at the RPM gauge. Okay, so let's start off with the S keys. Now on the RPM gauge we use two S keys, and that's S1 and S6. Now S1 is used to reset the RPM limiter needle. So if I give the throttle a bit of a blip, you can see the little blue needle underneath. It goes up with the needle and then it stays put. That just basically shows the maximum RPM that you've hit. So we can drop that back. Now when you hit the S1 button, that little blue needle is reset to the current RPM, and as you can see I can blip the needle and then I can reset, and I can reset, and I can reset, and it'll always go to the highest point. Okay, so now S6 changes the engine, so that's the engine that's being displayed, the RPM values. Currently it's set to engine 1. If I hit engine 2, 3 and 4, you can see there's no output. That's because I'm flying a Cessna at the moment, but obviously if you're flying 2, 3 or 4 engine aircraft, that will show the RPM output for each engine as you select it. Okay, so let's move on to our mini menus. Now our blue LED is our mini menu indicator, and it's the closest to the right hand dial, which indicates that the right hand dial operates the menu. So if we give the right dial a twist to the right, the menu comes on. Now the first option in the menu is instructions. So if we turn the left dial, that will turn the instructions on and off and on. So this will give you some indications of what the other menu functions are doing, gives you a bit of an overview of the other menu functions. Turn it off for now. Next menu option with the right dial is side buttons. Most air gauges come with side buttons, and I have a separate tutorial for side buttons and labelling, so please check that out. But we can turn the left dial on and off now, and that will bring up the side buttons and their labels. Let's turn the menu one more time. We now have the RPM scale range. Okay, so currently we've got a 3000 RPM range roughly, and I've set several different ranges. So we've now got a 6000 RPM range, and we've also got a 39,000 RPM range, useful if you're flying jets and things like that. Okay, so I've included 3 different ranges for you. Next option is the aircraft red line. Now this is quite a useful function. FSX knows the red line limit for each aircraft, and by activating this function the red line will automatically be set for you. So I think I'm currently already set for the red line, and I'm not. So I turn the left dial and red line is set. Now if I come out of here and turn the left dial to set the red line manually, I want to go back into the menus and select the aircraft red line, turn left or right of the left dial, will set the red line position to the aircraft's red line. The next option is the engine number. Now this is quite useful if you've turned off the side menu because you've activated the side buttons. Obviously these functions don't become visible, so you can access the engine number through the menu, and this just simply toggles through the various different engine numbers that you have available. So that's just in case you turned off the side menu, the side gauge. Okay, the next option is reset maximum RPM. Now this will do the same as the S1 button, and that will reset your maximum RPM value, the blue needle. So we'll give the throttle a pump, and there you go. You turn the left dial, and each time you twist the left dial clockwise or anti-clockwise, it'll reset the RPM to the current RPM position. And the last entry is the A2A mode. Now if you're lucky enough to have A2A aircraft, then you have to turn this mode on for the RPM to work. A2A aircraft use their own local variables, and subsequently it doesn't use the standard FSX variables. So I have included the programming for A2A RPMs within my gauge, but you have to turn the mode on, and you just simply twist the left dial and the A2A mode will go green. As you can see at the moment, the needle is reset to 0. I don't have A2A aircraft, so it's not seeing the variables, which is why it's reset back to 0. And if I turn the A2A mode off, then I'm back to FSX RPM, and I can pick up the FSX RPM values. Now we hit the right dial to come out of the menus, and I did touch on this during the menu tutorial, but the left dial basically manually sets the green zone and the red line limit, and you can set that wherever you like. Now that is saved in your profiles, so you don't have to change it every single time you load up the gauge. You can set it at 2500 on one aircraft, save it in a profile, load up this gauge in another profile, and you can set it to something completely different, and that should be loaded with your profile. Okay, so that's the end of the RPM tutorial demo. I hope you found that useful. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, and come back for some more. Thank you.